Hi, my name is Vesa Painen. I work here at the University of Eastern Finland, and on this short presentation I show you some simple tools to be more present online. So how we can increase the interactivity on these online modules or online courses. If you ever been playing computer games or participated on online course that is not so well modulated, quite often the problem is that you get the sense that on the other side there is only computer that is communicating with you. And then when you're learning the algorithms that the computer is using, it gets quite boring. And that's why it's very simple to just drop out from the course. But if there exists a real teacher on the other side that is giving you personal feedback, then you get more engaged on the course, and that makes you more probably to also to finish the course and pass the course. And there are several very simple tools that we can use to be more present online. First of all, when we are deciding a new course and have a chat forum there, what kind of username we are using? Should the username be formal or friendly? Should I be Doctor of Philosophy or University Lecturer, this and this, or just using my first name? Because when the students are making question, they are expecting different kind of answer from the Doctor of Philosophy, that is answering, giving you the truth and nothing but the truth. But then if I'm having my first name, I might be that I'm just giving them some shorter comments and trying them to get the answer by themselves from certain sources. And also, not only the quality, but also the quantity can be different. So are the students eager to ask from the Doctor of Philosophy or Professor or whatever, that they're simple questions on the basic level knowledge? Or are they more eager to ask from just regular man or woman with their first name? Then, if we have completely online course, it's good to have some personal information that is getting the students engaged. So if we are looking on massive on-site online courses, there is usually a biography. So this is the professor. He or she has been doing this and this kind of research. Or at least a picture. So this is how the teacher looks like. And it gives you some kind of idea that, okay, this is the teacher, and if he or she is making a short video for example, in the introduction, that okay, this is the content, and these are my favorite things because I've been doing this and this kind of research previously. It's get more interesting, of course. Then we should meet the students. So at least in virtually, we are there at the same time, so that we can have a short chat with the students that, okay, what are your expectations as a student? And then as a teacher, I can give them some expectations that I have for the course. Well, I've never done this virtually. I'm giving, in my flipped classroom courses, I'm giving them one lecture. And during this lecture, I'm showing that, okay, these are the tools that we are using. And that's important because most probably most of the students never heard of these tools. But also I'm giving them some recommendations that, okay, this is the daily or weekly expectation that you are using this and this much work and this and this much time on these studies. And then I'm giving some recommendations that, okay, how you can pass the course. Do we have exams or do we have essays, etc.? And what kind of questions we have in the exam. So this is the way you should study. And then I can even give some recommendations that, okay, if you are doing this and your goal is this, then you should perhaps do this and this during this course, etc. And well, although we are meeting in the classroom, I'm giving them the same information also in online. So even those students that are not present in these introduction course lectures, they can get the information. And then there should be some communication through the course. So there is a sense that there is a real teacher that is giving you some feedback. So if the student is using his or her time to write something, there should be also time for teacher to just check that and give some recommendations. It's always better to have the recommendations from the teacher than the learning management system. And then when we are having chat with the students, how to discuss with the students. So virtual strategies are also affecting. So if we are very formal or very unfriendly, it can't be unexpected that the students are not asking anything in these chat forums. But if we are there giving short and encouraging recommendations and comments for the students, then the students get more proud that, okay, I knew this. And then they get more they get more courage to find the answers themselves. And then we should be there online at certain time. There can be some virtual office hours. So okay, every Tuesday and Thursday from 2 to 4, I'm there in the chat forum. And then students can ask during that time, and you will answer within few minutes. So the interaction is more personal. Or, well, I'm not using this because we have a chat forum which is open 24/7. I'm not there all the time, but quite often. And so whenever the students are asking, within few minutes, teachers can answer. So there's a more personal, you don't have to wait for hours for the answer. And of course, we can be more present by using social media. Quite often, the teachers are writing blogs related on the courses, or write on the Twitter, or Facebook, or social bookmarking. So the student gets information that, okay, this is the way this teacher is thinking. And he or she might have some other things of interest, except this course, or beside this course. So it's a real person. And then when we have a course that is also containing freshmen, we have to be more careful, because these freshmen don't have so good learning skills. They need a little bit more socializing on studies. They should have some kind of social environment. So they are not only coming to university because they want to study, but they also want to come there to study together with other students. So that is the reason why they usually come for the lectures also. And in online courses, we just can't put the first year students there, okay, go home and start your course online and alone. But we should have short-term goals, and then the students can be more engaged. So interact early and often. So the first weeks or days of these projects. And so if we have a whole semester long course, during the first days there should be some task that the students should do. And so that, okay, the students should be active on the course, not just waiting for the first 5 weeks, and then during the last night the students are struggling with the material to get to read all the material before the exam, and most probably get frustrated because they notice that, okay, I can't understand this material within this time limit, and they are not coming to the exam and they will just drop out. But if we get them active during the first week, during the first days, it's more getting engaged on the course. And then having some bridging, scaffolding and hooks. So what the students are thinking they need to know and the ways to get it. The goal can be different for different students. So in my case, some freshman students are just want to pass the course. So it's enough that if they know 50% of the content. And in some cases, I have students that want to have 70%. Because if they are in open university, in Finnish system, then you can make an application to be a regular student if you have done these and these courses with 70% successful. And then some students are always not happy if they are getting only 80%, so they want to have excellent grades. So we should have different goals and some kind of maps so the students know that, okay, what they are expected, and they have some kind of road that, okay, this is the way I should go to get these goals. And so not too demanding task and definitely clear instructions. And then the students should know during the first day of the course, okay, this is the way I can pass the course. These are the activities that I should do to get some extra points. So it should be open criteria for the grading. And there also could be good that if we have a per teaching assistant, so graduate student, or for first year students, we could have even for someone from the second year studies, that okay, the student can supervise these activities because they are a little bit more on the same level than we as a teachers. And might be that it's easier to ask from the older student, okay, I didn't understand this problem, than when they are asking from the teacher. I've never tested that one. And in my teaching, I'm using several tools to increase the interaction. And as I told you in previous videos, I'm using online persona. So this pseudo interactivity, I'm trying to be present in these video lectures and podcasts. And the goal is actually that, okay, I'm trying to do everything to get them learning. And the goal is also that several of my students, they are becoming teachers in biology. And they should be proud that they are now teaching this. And there can be some examples that, okay, if we can make this and this thing, it might look ridiculous, but get the students learn. Then I'm using Moodle quizzes. And as I showed you previously, the students are liking it. They are doing them several times because I don't have any limits on the use. Because I'm not interested how many times they be using them, these quizzes, or how many points they get from these weekly quizzes. But I'm just interested that, okay, are they using it or not? And it seems to be effective. So if they are using the same quizzes 10 times, they get higher grades. Then I have online discussion forum. And it seems to be that this chat is very active, also outside the course. So although at the moment the course is passed several months ago, but still some students are making some questions there. And if it doesn't take too much time, we can always answer. So it's very good, and it's also effective way to engage the students. So in my cases, when we have a large course with the active online discussion forum, those students, about half of the students are active online, they are getting very nice grades in the first exams and the first chance to make these exams. So they are graduating or passing the course much faster than those that are not active in this online chat. And then I'm using also feedback. So I try to be a personal trainer, trying to get the students learning throughout the course and using the skills that they have. Okay, so short review of these tools still. So I'm using the information delivery because we have a course that is maybe 500 pages of textbook. So there's two ways. I use visual and audio broadcast. I have these screencasts, so regular lectures in short segments, and they are also only for participants. Those are because they are containing some copyright textbook images, etc. And then I'm having also YouTube, and so trying to increase the student motivation by having a short review of the core content of the screencast video, and trying to put it more visual and trying to get it a little bit funny so the students are like to watch it. But also it's free for everybody. So at the same time, I'm giving education for everybody on this planet. But also I have this audio delivery. So I'm using these podcasts, and there's a summary of the content and also the discussion of the application. So I'm having interview of some professors on in several different subjects, I can give them more information on the history, how we have got these ideas that they are shown in these screencasts, etc. And then beside these, I'm also using Slack. So it's not in our learning management system, but I'm using it because it's mobile. It works very well in the cell phones, and it can be used anonymously. So I can show that the good point is that now our students can just decide what name they are using. And I can easily add some channels there to have the discussion of certain things over there and certain things over there. And the good point also is that because it's working so well in the cell phones, etc., so we can have discussions quite nicely also during the night time. So a student is asking something a little bit before 6 p.m. Teacher is answering within 1 minute. Okay, there is more discussion 2 minutes later. Teacher is answering 2 minutes later. Then we have a almost immediate discussion. And that's why we can have 150 messages per week. And also the good point is in this, so it's okay, when the students, they are not expected that everybody should register on this. But if they want, they can. And they can register with whatever name they want. So they can ask anonymously. And that makes it a little bit easier. But also the good point is that then we can see that, okay, how much activity there exists, how many users we have, and when they've been using, etc. So it seems to be that, okay, there was 2016 this course was active, then 2017 it was quite active also, and then it's actually there are some activity still going on, although it's the course itself it's only in fall. And so it works quite well because it's really a mobile, so it doesn't fill your text messages, or it doesn't fill your email like our learning management system when we have a chat there. And you don't have to register every time because it works in a map application that is showing that, okay, there are now 2 messages. And then you can watch them quite fast. But then one thing that I'm using is also that I'm trying to give them feedback. So trying to be a personal trainer for every student. And that's a little bit time consuming if having 150 students. But I've been now giving personal feedback for every exam for each student. So previously in our institute, when you are making exam, your answers are stored for some time limit, either in some office, where you can come to watch it. Okay, these were your answers, and these how it was graded. But usually the students are not so eager to come to, for example, professor's office to look their papers. So that's why I'm using this. So I give them feedback automatically. Okay, which answers they were perfect and which could be improved. And also some recommendation that, okay, you were missing this and this on your answer. Because sometimes when the student is writing the answer, he or she knows immediately that, okay, I don't have slightest idea, but sometimes there can be some good things still. Or sometimes the student might be writing a long essay, but it's completely out of the focus. So I had to give them some recommendations that, okay, next time please read the question first. And definitely the most important thing is that sometimes there are some severe misunderstandings. So the students are completely in the wrong tracks. And these should be corrected immediately. And so, because otherwise the student will get this misunderstanding on the next course and the next course, etc. So I want to give immediately some short, polite review that, okay, this is how it works. And then, could the answering technique be improved? So even those essays that the students are writing that are getting the highest grade, even them can have small things to change. So essay can never be perfect, and I can then improve and give some recommendations that, okay, next time you could answer a little bit more like this way. And so even then, even those most talented students can give some information on the feedback. And then I'm giving some updates on this course that they have. So we have in my courses, there's usually that, okay, we have a certain number of scores you need to pass the course, and what kind of strategy you should do for the last exam, etc. So if we have 3 exams, like over here, there is on the left there is always the KA, meaning the average, and then the student. And so the student can get the information immediately that, okay, how many points he or she was getting from individual questions. And so was just that the question was more difficult than the others, and that's why he or she did get a little bit less points from the answer, or was there some misunderstanding? But also because in some cases the student gets very low grades from two first exams, and then he or she needs very high grades from the last exam. And I can just give the recommendation that now the exam is next week, but do not come to the exam because you can't make 50 out of 50 on this exam. But if you are making an essay, then you can pass the courses. So I can give some recommendations, or if they are making failure in the first exam, I can give them recommendation that, okay, if this course material is too demanding, use this and this material. It's much simple. It doesn't have all the content, but it gives you the basic idea what this course is about, and then you can pass the course. Or in some cases, I've been giving recommendations that, okay, you get at the moment 79% of the maximum points, and you are now thinking that, okay, you are going to next week on the exam, but actually you don't have to come because you need only 1 point, and I'm giving some additional points if you're making the quizzes, if you are active in online learning, in these online chat forum, if you are participating on the contact meetings. So if you are making, for example, the quizzes, then you can get the 1 point, and then, okay, your grading is not anymore 2, now it's 3. So you can improve it. And that's a very good thing. Okay, then I don't need to read as many essays as other way. And also, okay, the student gets a little bit less stress on, now they have that, okay, I don't have to work on this exam because I can make these other routes to get past the course or get higher grades. But not only on the exam, I'm also giving feedback on the course activity. Because the problem in these online models is that the students quite easily don't do anything before the last night, especially on the first course having these online models. So that's why I've been giving some feedback on how much videos you've been using, how much Moodle you have used, have you made these quizzes, etc. And so what is your weekly work or during this course versus the average? And the goal is to get the students work regularly, because that's, with that method they can get higher grades. And the good point is that when giving this feedback, it's been reducing the last minute panic. So they are not anymore trying on the last night to check 6 hours of video lectures and making quizzes and then come to exam and not knowing even their name. But now they are more regularly working. And some students have been saying that this feedback, together with the feedback from the exam, opens their mind to rethink their learning strategy. And that's a good thing. They now know that, okay, I've been watching all the videos, but I was not so active, and that might be the problem in the first exam. And then they are trying to find more active learning strategies, and then they are getting high grades. And that's a good thing. So then in the next course and next course, they are using this knowledge on their self-knowledge on their learning strategy. So then they can improve all their courses. But the problem in giving this feedback is that the type of interaction and feedback can matter on students' attitude. It's been shown already in 1980s that when we have talented students, from the first exam in red to the second exam blue, we are giving different kind of feedback, like comments or grades and comments. It affects already even in these talented students. So if we are giving them both grades and comments, it might be that the second exam is not so well going. And more dramatically, if we are giving the same feedback for those that have been struggling on the course and giving them grades and comments there in the up, it seems to be that the second exam is getting worse than the first one. So this might be that if we are giving too much information on the student, on how much you've been working on the course and what are the recommendations, it might be that the students start to think that, okay, I don't know this content, I'm not very good in this content, and I will never be because I have a wrong learning strategy. and they don't understand that they can change the learning strategy. So that's why we should be always quite careful of what kind of feedback we give, so to improve the course and improve their learning outcome, rather than just getting them desperate that okay, they will never learn. And for that reason, I'm having now in the future a short study. I'm using this online model metadata because we are having quite nice information in the learning management system that okay, what models the students have been using and when he or she has used them. So the metadata can be used for training and test that okay, will that affect on the dropout or learning outcomes. So simply next year I will put the students in 2 groups randomly, and one of them will get the information of Moodle activity, and I will hire a graduate student working part-time for the fall semester on the metadata analysis and giving this personal feedback for the students. And the good point is that I received a small grant from our university to make this, so that's why this is possible. And in the end, we will just compare these groups to see that okay, will the information get higher grades? Or will this information increase the interactivity? And that's why it will decrease the dropout rate. Thank you.